Hey everybody, this is Joe, and today we're going to be reviewing the Samsung Galaxy J7 Sky Pro. So let's take a look at it and see what you think. Alright, so here it is. The Samsung Galaxy J7 Sky Pro. Here on the side we got the volume rocker. On the other side we got the power button. Nothing up top. Down here we got a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack and a micro USB 2.0 power connector. If you look at the screen here, it looks like it curves a little over on the edge. Maybe the top glass there does. I mean, the screen definitely doesn't, because the curve starts past where the screen stops. But it has this illusion of curving just a little bit, which is nice. And it's not too thick. On the back, plasticky fill. It picks up fingerprints really easy. So watch, I'll wipe it off. It's a little better, and then just immediately it picks up fingerprints pretty easily. This up here feels a little more like a rubbery glass type of feel, like rubber mixed with glass, if that makes any sense. Kind of what this feels like, this band where your camera's at. So to talk about some of the specs here, there's a 5.5 inch 1280 by 720p screen. So even though it says HD, that's just regular HD. It's not full HD. So it's not a 1920 by 1080p screen. It's just a 1280 by 720p. And we'll look at it here in a little bit, the screen, but it still looks pretty decent for just 1280 by 720. The battery in the back here is a 3300 milliamp hour battery, and it lasts a really long time. Whenever I first got the phone, it was at about 40%, and it seemed to die really fast. I mean, later that night it died, and once it got down to 10% or so, it just drained. I mean, really quick. So I thought that was something bad, but after I let it die all the way down like you're supposed to when you first get a new battery, a new phone, and then when I fully charged it, turned it back on, and it works like a charm. I mean, just with average use, what I call average use would be a couple hours a day of talk time, a couple hours a day of messing around on Facebook or searching for stuff on Google, and maybe a little bit of video viewing every day, and it lasted 3 full days. So it definitely will last a long time. Even if you had heavy use, you'll get at least a day and a half to 2 days with a lot of use. So it's not one of them phones that you have to charge every night when you go to bed. I don't charge it for 3 days. I've only had this phone for 2 weeks now, but and I've only charged it maybe 5 times since I've had it in 2 weeks. So I go about once every 3 days. Just once it gets down to maybe 10%, I'll plug it in at night. I know that if it's at 30%, I don't have to worry about charging it. I can wait till I get home at night and it'll be fine. So that's nice. And that's partly to do with the screen having a lower resolution, with the trade-off there. The chipset is it's Snapdragon, I think 625, a Snapdragon 625, which has the Adreno 506 GPU. It's a 8-core, 2 gigahertz processor. I've seen people say that it's a quad-core. Maybe there's some other version in another country. I know what I got for Straight Talk is a 8-core, 2 gigahertz a CPU. So, and it's got 2 gigabytes of RAM. Pretty good for such a budget device. And there is a SD card slot right here, so you could add up to an extra 128 gigabytes of storage. It comes with 16 gigabytes internal memory, so you could add another 128 right there. That's a big plus for me. I haven't popped one in there yet, but I will, I'm sure. Alright, so next I'm going to open up a few apps just to give you an idea of how fast things load on here. It's not a full-fledged speed test by any means. I'm just going to open a few things and let you get an idea. First, let's show that nothing's open. We'll start with the Play Store. Pretty quick there. Amazon Shop. Walmart. Took a little bit, but not too bad. Pandora. Here's a good opportunity to show the speakers. I know that's kind of hard to get an idea of how loud something is while listening through something that's recording it, but I mean, if you compare it to my voice right here talking, it's pretty loud. I mean, decent enough to leave your phone, you know, if you like listening to music when you take a shower or something like that. Totally great for that. Pretty decent speakers, really. And we'll open up Internet, Chrome. That loads pretty decently. Let's see, let's type maybe somewhere I've never been, like MSN. I don't ever go to that website. Let's type that in, click go. Okay, so you can see that everything's pretty quick. I mean, it's a 2 gigahertz 8-core processor. It's going to be pretty decent. Alright, so next we'll check out the camera, and beforehand I have to tell you that the camera is probably my least favorite feature on this phone. I'm not real big on the camera. My second least favorite thing is the screen resolution. 1280 by 720p. You know, it doesn't look too bad, to be honest. It looks pretty decent for budget. I mean, you can see what it looks like there. It's okay. But if you look close, I mean, things do look a little less sharp. I might be being a little nitpicky though, because the screen's not too bad. That's why it's not the worst thing to me. The camera is a little worse, but we'll take a look at that right now. There was a little force stop there, it looked like. Just went ahead and stopped. But now when I look at it through the camera that you're watching this on, it looks kind of decent. But what I see in person is it's a little, the colors are a little more washed out than what you're seeing, I think. You know, the brown looks really dull. The red looks really dull. So I think the camera that I'm recording on is livening things up a little bit. See, it takes just a little bit to focus. And when you take a picture, it just looks a little pixelated. It's not real bad. I might be nitpicking a little bit there too. It's not horrible, but It's not real good. We'll record a little bit of a video here. I'll go back and watch that. So again, it's not horrible, but it's not real good. It's an 8 megapixel back camera. I think it's a 1.2 front-facing camera. We'll go ahead and look at the front-facing. Get a shot of myself here. Hello, there I am. So there's the front facing camera, what it looks like. I'm telling you, it really does look a lot better on what you're seeing on the screen for some reason. What I'm seeing is a lot more pixelated. Like my beard looks pretty pixelated from what I see, and then what you're seeing though looks a little better there. I don't know why. It's pretty odd. Alright, just a quick recap is there's some things that I like and some things I dislike about this phone. As far as what I like, I really I love the battery life. For something to last 3 days on a single charge, this day and age is great. I mean, yeah, a long time ago when we'd have flip phones, they might last a week or 2 weeks, something bizarre like that on a single charge. But for a smartphone with, a bright screen and you're watching videos and things like that, for it to last 3 days is very nice on such a budget device anyway. That's great. I love that. I like the build quality a lot. It feels nice for being such a budget device. I know this is down to preference. Some people like the plasticky feel stuff, some people don't. I tend to not like the feel of plasticky stuff, but this is kind of nice. It's just a little rough feeling. I like it. The front feels just like any other device. Now, things I don't like about the phone is I don't like that it's only 1280 by 720p. I dislike 720 by 1280. They call it HD, but it's not full HD, which would be 1920 by 1080p. I wish that it would be a full HD screen. But even with that dislike, it's not bad. I mean, if you look closely, it's not too bad. Trying to zoom in there. Oh. So the edges could be a little smoother. I'm not getting a real clear shot there, but it doesn't look bad, really. It's not horrible. It would be great if it was 1920 by 1080p. I also really dislike the camera. It looked pretty decent from what I think that you're going to see on this video, but trust me, it looks a little worse than that in person. It's a little more pixelated and the colors are a little more washed out than what you're seeing. I mean, even right here, the colors on the screen are just a little more washed out than what you're seeing, but it looks good. The main screen looks nice. The camera, though, I'm not a fan of it. If you're not doing anything serious, just a few pictures here and there, it might be fine for you. Probably will be fine for the average user. I'm a little nitpicky when it comes to camera quality, and that's my hang up. So I think that you might still like this device, but That's all I got for you for today. If there's anything else you want me to do with this phone that I forgot to do, put it in the comments and let's see if I can make a video on that. Anything that you need to know information wise, I can just send you a comment back and we can talk about it. If you like the video, click like, subscribe, and above all else, have a good day, everybody. Thanks.